Welcome back. Hunter Biden claiming that he has no memory of dropping off a laptop at a Delaware repair shop during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live to promote his new memoir.
I really don't know. And the fact of the matter is it's a red herring. It is absolutely red herring. But I am absolutely, I think, within my rights to question anything that comes from the desk of Rudy Giuliani. And so I don't know is the answer.
Do you ever wish you'd had Apple Care?
Yeah, that would have been a good...
Yeah. All right, Hunter also saying that while he wouldn't take a seat on the Burisma board again, he felt it was not a mistake, nor did it display a lack of judgment. Joining me now, opinion editor at The Washington Times and Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt. Charlie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jackie.
Your reaction to his memory loss on this issue?
Well, not that he was particularly pressed on anything, because obviously Jimmy Kimmel was trying to give him as much cover as he could. But it was sort of revealing. I thought that was so interesting, the thing where he says that, he doesn't regret taking the, he didn't do anything wrong getting on the board. He didn't regret going on the board. And again, this is a place where he took millions of dollars, off of his father's name, basically, from a corrupt company. He doesn't regret any of it. All he regrets is the political fallout. And I think that tells you pretty much everything you need to know about both what his decisions, the way his family has handled them, and the way so many in the media have handled this. It's all about raw politics. The only thing he regrets is that it caused political headaches for his family.
Yeah, and what seems interesting to me is it's almost like he's taking a very legal position on this, which is I cannot recall. I just don't know. Not saying, no, it's not mine.
Right. Exactly. It's like suddenly it's in the courtroom and he's saying, no, I think everything on there is correct, which of course it is. But I still have the right to question anything that comes from Rudy Giuliani's desk. It is so legalistic, but it doesn't get to the heart of it. It doesn't get to the truth of it. The truth of the matter is he compromised himself. He used his father's position to make huge amounts of money from a corrupt company in a government that his father had government relations with. And then he wants to be all legalistic about it at this point. And it really is, it's the height of disgusting.
Turning to the border, it is costing Health and Human Services a reported $60 million per week to care for the more than 16,000 unaccompanied minors housed at these temporary facilities. Those costs are expected to rise over the coming months. We just had Steve Scalise on. He is down there right now saying that the flow is not stopping, and we just keep seeing these numbers go up and up and up. Fox News reporting in response to the crisis that DHS Secretary Mayorkas reportedly agreed to regular meetings with border sheriffs during his trip to El Paso yesterday. Charlie, what do you think the administration needs to do here? They've got to stem the flood of migrants in some way, yet they don't seem willing to do it.
No, I think you're exactly right. They are not willing to do it because this is entirely a mistake entirely of their own making. Joe Biden caused this crisis single-handedly. Now that it's begun, what do you do about it? Well, what you have to do about it, the first thing you have to do is you have to stop politicizing everything, and you have to stop trying to use this as a political situation. Instead, trying to apply basic logic to it, and you have to figure out how to reemploy all of the policies that President Trump put in place that solved this problem in the first place. But Joe Biden and Democrats, they don't want to do this. This crisis is, I think,
Charlie,
they invited this.
According to the Democrats, according to the administration, President Trump's policies were the ones that had these huge human rights abuses. These policies don't at all. I just want to hand it over to Brian for a question.
It might actually make more sense if the government just gave the $60 million directly to the drug cartels,
right,
and spared the children the misery they're putting them through.
Brian.
Well, Charlie, that would actually be something that, what strikes me here is zero is happening. The idea that Secretary Mayorkas is going to meet with the sheriffs periodically. What is that? That's not even taking a baby step toward a solution. I just don't think there's actually any interest in solving the problem because they see it as a way to get their preferred policies passed down the road. Isn't that it?
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. And although they realize what a disaster this is for them politically, and I think they're beginning to realize that even among Democratic voters, this is highly, highly unpopular. These are not 50-50 issues or 55-45 issues. These are 70-80% issues talking about the need to have a border and not create a situation where you are literally causing human slavery. You're causing women to go through these miserable journeys in which they're physically harmed. You're causing the situation where children are getting killed at the border, and they at some point they have to put those people and the American people at the center and get away from the politics.
Charlie Hurt, great to see you this morning. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.